sent TJ his cards, and it was addressed to TJ Brown instead of TJ Button. I love that one. Delana said she always appreciated good-looking men. Since her granddaughters had such good taste, she got to be surrounded by them constantly. What none of those new guys expected was their spotlight and attention from Grandma only lasted until the new grandson-in-law showed up. And then you were the old news. On to the next. We always looked forward to the family get-togethers at Grandma's. She entertained us grandchildren with many stories. She always had lots of advice. She let us all know that she could still turn many heads. She worked at Rainbow and Cub. I think she was constantly flirting with as many young guys as she possibly could. She was still very pretty in her day, and apparently construction workers still look pretty. She had said many times that she got whistled at because there was always construction on her street, so she got lots of whistles on that one. Grandma loved education. She wanted all of her grandchildren to make sure they made the most of theirs, which I recently thought about Adam. She pressed you on the education thing quite a bit. We also remember that she loved her daycare kids. Grandma talked about those kids as if they were her own, and she made sure that they learned a lot about the world. We admire the fact that Grandma could draw. She always had her drawings posted up on her basement door. I know we got lots of drawings in our Christmas cards of horses and all kinds of other animals that didn't really have anything to do with Christmas, but she was good at it. Delana loved art as a kid and often wondered if she got the drawing gene from her grandma. She always made Delana feel like what she drew was really exceptional. Grandma was a hard worker in life, and she always respected a fellow hard worker. She also opened her home to renters, sometimes to the point where they took over her home and she ended up sleeping in the garage or the kitchen. I remember one particular time, Christmas, we all had to go down to the 7-Eleven to use the bathroom because it was the renter's bathroom and we weren't allowed to use it. So she never ceased to amaze us on how willing she was to go out of her way for her renters to feel comfortable. As we sit here and write this, we realize that we have so many Grandma Marge memories. She was funny and smart. She loved to walk around the lake. She loved to talk with her neighbors and work on her house and yard. Everybody knew Grandma Marge. I mean, everybody. Even at the grocery store, the elementary school down the street. She loved her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and all of her family and friends. One thing that Adam said the other night was, there were so many of us, and she never forgot anybody. It may have been not always in the nicest way, but she never forgot one of us. We will miss Grandma dearly. We look forward to seeing her in our dreams. We know she is free from pain and worry and surrounded by all the people she loved and dearly missed. While she was on this earth, Delana once read that once you shake someone's hand, your lives will forever be entangled. Whether you shook Grandma's hand, gave her a hug, or kissed her on the cheek, you will be forever entangled with her. We love you, Grandma. You're forever in our hearts. Just one last thing, Sydney and Danica couldn't be here. We just wanted to express how much sympathy they have, and we'll miss her too. And just remember that people in white pants are evil, so stay away from them. Stay away from them.
leave the house without your lipstick on. It's one of the first things I remember Grandma Marge telling me. I was a little child watching her in awe as she was putting makeup on and getting ready for a party, all in the kitchen. I remember some of the adults telling her to go into the bedroom and get ready. As a child, I was wondering why. To me, it made complete sense. She could get ready in the kitchen, watch the food in the oven, and still talk to us. Grandma didn't care very much about what others thought or said. She did what made sense to her. I once wrote a college paper on her with that very theme. Someone I admired for doing things their own way. I think many of us in this room today could say how nice it would be to just sometimes do what we really wanted or say what we really thought, without worrying about what people would say or think of us. The first time my husband met Grandma was when we moved to the Twin Cities. I remember pulling into her driveway one day, and there, facing the street, in her large living room window, was a beautiful 8x10 photo of Grandma. The curtains were drawn, and it was the only thing in the window. Kind of like it was on stage. My husband asked me if she was famous. I told him, well, kind of. She's definitely a legend. He thought she was very wise. Most all of her advice was factual, honest, and helpful. I was reminded of just this the other day when I almost hit a car in the store parking lot. She used to tell Dana and I that Dana's car was very dangerous. It was gray and it matched the road. Well, actually, she was right. I almost hit a gray-colored car that day in the parking lot because it just kind of blended in. Grandma's cards and letters that she, like everybody else said, never ever forgot to send. They were pure joy. One moment I would be in tears as she would go on and on about how much my father loved all of us kids. The very next line, I would be laughing as she told me if I wanted to marry a good man, I needed to be a good speller. In the last few days, I have heard a lot of us talk about the water fights at Grandma Marge's. I was thinking about it and wondering why that memory was so engraved in the minds of all of us that were there. And I realized something. Those water fights were some of the fondest memories of my childhood. It was because of her. Grandma had a way of making anything a little bit crazy. No one had to hold back. There were no rules. No one could say they weren't playing. Anything went. It was pure chaos. But it was the most fun many of us have ever had in our lives. And that made it legendary.
As we finish up, I'm going to take a survey. Raise your hand if Grandma Marge has ever called you about something she heard on the radio, or read in the newspaper, or saw on TV. Raise your hand. Everybody look around. She was a very busy, wonderful, caring person, because she spent the time to talk to all of you. It could have been the importance of getting a good education, making good investments, keeping an eye out for that great car, or checking again at the railroad crossings. So the next time something makes you pause and look again, know that Grandma Marge is still with you, and she's telling you to look back, look again at that railroad crossing, and keep her in your memory. Before we continue the service, I want to just remind everybody about the love that Grandma Marge had for kids learning music. I do not think that any child that met her was not taught patty cake. I can still imagine Grandma taking a child's hand and spinning, baking a cake and marking with a bead. Before we continue the service, I would like to invite all the great-grandchildren to come up, and we're going to sing this little light of mine for Grandma. Everybody come on up. Right, guys, turn around. Right over here. The teacher is coming